Hello and assalamualaikum and welcome to the brand new episode of What's Your Story. And today we have a special guest from Australia, and his
Yeah,
name is Luke. How are you, Luke?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
After I'm good. After going back and forth, finally we are doing it.
Yes,
Okay,
took a while.
yeah. So everyone who doesn't know Luke, he's a content creator, and he was also featured on a gesture video, and we will talk about that later. So Luke, let's talk about your childhood first. Where were you born? Tell us about yourself.
So I'm born in Adelaide, which is a town at the bottom of Australia, or not a town, a city at the bottom of Australia. And I sort of grew up just creating Pokemon videos, like card openings. Like I was like 10, I think. And I used to just film like movies of me like doing flips on the trampoline and stuff. And then I sort of didn't really do anything for like I don't know, probably 8 years. And then I just randomly got back into content creation because I've always had an interest in like YouTube and stuff. So yeah, the main reason I sort of started all of my like my business and everything that I have, it's from the first call that I had with Matt from your team. So that's how it all started. But yeah,
Uh, what's your qualification?
my
Have
what's that?
your qualification? What have you studied?
Studied.
Yeah, what have you studied?
Well, I start uni actually tomorrow, but
Okay, what
I'm gonna be
subjects?
doing films. What, sorry?
You are doing marketing, filmmaking. What
Oh,
are you studying?
I'm studying film, but I
Film.
haven't studied anything beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, when was the first time you realized that you can make videos and do things?
Probably it was during COVID when I realized I could start making videos, but I was making them when I was younger, but I started taking them seriously during COVID because there was nothing else to do. And I thought, well, it could be a way to make it fun and it helped.
What were your inspirations?
Um, my first, I started my podcast that I had because I had that first call with Matt, and then I just because I have Asperger's and I find it hard speaking to people. But I after that first call, I just wanted to, I don't, I just kept wanting to hear people's different stories and stuff, sort of like what you're doing. But yeah, I wanted to hear people's different stories and how their lives came to how it was, the like, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so you have started your own podcast. Who was your first guest and how was your experience?
My first official guest that I actually asked, he's an actor from Perth, and he was in the Dora movie and also a series called The Wilds. And I met him through a mutual people. But yeah, then I just sort of started reaching out to different people, and it kept happening. Yeah,
How was your experience with the first guest?
it was good. He was, I think he's around my age, and it was cool to meet someone who is in not the same sort of industry, but someone who has like a creative mind. And it was cool to meet someone like that.
Since you like movies and films, tell me about your favorite film. Which is your favorite film? Like, give me top
My
five if
favorite
you want to.
film.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a huge Marvel nerd, so I've always loved Marvel. Probably Black Panther is up there, but I like musicals, and there's a movie called In the Heights, which is one of my favorite musicals. So it's between those.
There was another musical film. I'm forgetting the name. Was it Catch Me If You Can? I think.
Uh,
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I like that movie. So yeah. So tell me about your family. Who do you have in your family? Do they support your creative side?
Yeah, they're big supporters of it. When I first started it, they were sort of like in shock because of the people who I was contacting and how it all happened so quickly. Um, but now that's sort of been going for a few years. They sort of expect it, but now I'm starting to do in-person content. Um, that my dad actually helped film the video I filmed on Sunday, so they're very supportive, and I think they're going to be in a lot more videos helping me, which is cool. So yeah.
That's awesome. What's your creative process, by the way, when you are making a film? How do you come up with the plan?
Um, like with the videos that I'm
Yeah,
making. Um, well, I've sort of been planning them for the last 2 months, just randomly chucking ideas into notes, and I've spread it out so it's all set into different weeks. So it's sort of like consistency, but like planned, but it's very spontaneous at the same time. So yeah, on the weekend I filmed a video where I took a stranger parasailing, which was
yeah.
it was very cool, and it was my first in-person video. Um, and then my next video that I'm filming next week, I'm fighting a UFC fighter. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
So it would be uh, a vlog kind of thing, or just like storytelling, trying different things?
um, well, with me, I'm sort of uh, I'm trying to like make people have like me, my friends, and also strangers have crazy experiences. So that's sort of my goal with what to do, like with my channel. But I I don't really have I I don't know. I have like my own style of how I edit stuff, and I don't know. I can't really call it story, but I guess it also has its own story. But yeah, I think with like how I create stuff because of my Asperger's, I anything that I do is sort of like pushing myself out of my comfort zone because I like when I was asking strangers, I never thought I'd be able to do that because I find it difficult to just speak in general. But yeah,
So yes, who inspired you to talk to like strangers and all?
yes. Theory has been one of the biggest parts of helping me push
So,
past the
so
speaking.
you were featured in one of their videos, and I think it was one of their toughest videos ever, the
It was
Shaolin
yeah,
thing. So how
as
did you guys met? Tell me the whole story. How did you guys met, and how was your experience with them?
so I met um Thomas in the first call that I had with Matt in 2020, and me and Matt have sort of just always talked like like since 2020, and I sent a video. Um, I forgot what it was for, but they posted something, and I thought it was for the adventure, but it wasn't. But I sent it to Matt thinking it was, and but I also bought stuff, so I'm not sure if they put me in the video or when I don't know. I'm not sure, but I've sort of always had a connection with them, but I never actually met them in person until this year.
So how was your experience at Shaolin?
Um, Painful. It was it was a 20-hour flight, so I actually didn't get jet lag, but I was sort of dead when I got there. But then we went straight into training after breakfast, and I was like, nah. I felt very sick, and then we did the conditioning training where they like whack the yeah,
Yeah.
and that was it's painful, but it was also very inspiring, like how that like master how he just thinks. Like we sat there for probably like 10 hours just talking to him. Like they can't show it, but like we sat there for ages talking to him because very he's a very smart and like wise person. Yeah.
So you were there for like 3 days,
We were there for 4 days.
4 days, and every day you guys had to do some sort of training there.
Yeah, so the first day we did the the martial arts training, and then we the next day I think it was uh, like the meditation side and just talking to master and stuff, but also preparing for a festival that they were having. That was also um, and then it was that so the third day was just preparing for the festival. So we helped with like garden and stuff. We helped everything, and then I think there was more training on the third day, and then it was the festival on the fourth day.
Have you ever had experience beforehand, like before going to this? Have you ever had some training like taekwondo training or anything, or you just went straight into it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. But well, we didn't know what we were doing until we drove an hour out in the German. Like, so we landed in Germany not knowing what we were doing, and then we drove like an hour to a random town, and then they told us what we were doing.
So, what was your briefing before the this thing? What
Um,
what did they tell you?
so a week before we flew out, they told us that we're leaving in a week, and then they sort of just said, "Well, they can't like I forgot what they said, but they didn't tell us what we were doing, but they just said expect the unexpected, and it would a sick discomfort, sort of.
Okay, the all
Yeah,
expenses were paid by them, or you have to chip in.
no, everything was paid for, which was good.
Did they do your insurance?
Yeah, yeah, they did.
Okay. So, what's your future plan? How you want to take your channel further, and how you want to
Yeah,
take everything?
yeah. So at the moment, trying. I'm gonna try be consistent with my uploads because with the podcast, I think I did it like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and it was so difficult because I was getting people that you can't really contact, and but with this, it's in-person content, and it's not what I was doing. Like it's easier to record, but I'm yeah, I'm gonna do every 2 weeks on a Friday. I think my goal is to do it for, until I stop, but I have like a whole list of stuff to do. So yeah,
Okay. So, since you're from Australia and Australians have pretty good cricket team, and most of Australians doesn't follow cricket.
yeah,
Was it that? I mean, this is something you guys are good at,
yeah.
but
Is
why there is so less following there?
um I don't know. We play it. It's just, not much people follow it that I know. Like it's mainly Australian football that people follow, but I don't even follow that. So
Do you know who's the cricket team captain for Australia? Okay, it's Pat Cummins, by the way. Yeah, and the World Cup is around the corner. Yeah,
jeez,
yeah.
yeah,
World Cup starting from like 5th October.
jeez.
Yeah. So here's a breaking news for you.
Yeah, I think the AFL Grand Final is like 2 weeks away, but that's all I know. But I don't even follow that, and then I mainly watch UFC, which is the main reason I'm super excited to fight the UFC fighter.
So it would be like a full-on fight, or Just a training sort of fight.
Um, well, I think they're gonna train us for like 30 minutes and then we're gonna fight.
I mean, they're going to train you for 30 minutes and they will make you face someone who's training for 30 years.
But it's a part of seeking discomfort, I guess.
I hope you have your insurance.
I do have health insurance, so I should be alright.
Who's your favorite UFC fighter?
Um, Probably should be Sean, but um, I'm really the guy I'm fighting. He's like he's new to the UFC. Like he started in 2019, I think, or 2020. But he's very good, and I feel like he's gonna be champion one day. Like he's very good. So it's between him and the guy I'm fighting.
In Pakistan, we don't follow UFC much, but we know few UFC fighters. For example, Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey through WWE, and then Khabib and what's Max? What's his name? I forgot his name. The one who there was a Khabib versus Mac Connors. His name is
Oh, Conor McGregor.
yeah. So we know only these four fighters, and I'm not sure if they are still fighting or not.
I think Conor McGregor is retired, but the other ones are still fighting.
Is Khabib still fighting?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he.
And I just saw his story, and I was like, he's fighting with a bear to train himself. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
I don't get how
another
they
way.
do it. Yeah, what they do is crazy. Like even their training, I don't get how they do it. It's
And
it's an intense sport.
I recently saw The Rock on a video on YouTube channel. I forgot the fighter name. He was training for it, and Rock went to his place, and he
Oh,
got him
yeah,
a house and everything.
yeah, I saw that. I think he's one of the new UFC fighters. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wish you good luck for your fight, and
Thank you,
I'm thankful for your time,
thank you,
and I hope we can do
thank you
more
for having
vlog.
me.
Thank you, and I hope we can have a more podcast with you once you start releasing your content, and we
Yeah,
will
that'd be
get you
awesome.
back to you, and then we will ask about your experience shooting them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down for that. That'd be awesome.
So that's it for today, guys. You can subscribe our channel, follow on Instagram, follow Luke on his YouTube and Instagram. I will make sure to give the link of him. And thank you, Luke. Thank you for
Thank
your
you,
time. Take care. Bye
thank you
bye.
so much.